Welcome to We Don't Have Cookies with your host, Jason Marshall. It's a comedy show. At least that's what we're telling people.
Hey everybody, thanks for downloading the show. I got two really great ones for you this week. I'm doing the best of Kenny Bolin. There will be two parts. Today I will be going over the friend and the family man that I've shared a lot of laughs with. Some people may be scratching their heads and saying, are you talking about the evil wrestling manager who fights with everybody and is usually described as a con man? Well, that's Thursday's episode. I've known Kenny for 5 or 6 years now. I've always referred to him by his nickname King, but he also goes by Star Maker. Here's a quick clip of him talking about how we became friends.
Well, you and I got to be pretty good friends because you thought that I had what it took to be a comedian.
Oh,
You thought that I could do stand up, and I said, well, there's just one problem. I can't stand up.
We've always gotten along pretty well. He's taught me a lot. Well, one thing you taught me was a friend in need is no friend indeed.
Absolutely. I've lived by that for many years. If you need something, you're no friend of mine. You want to give me something, then we could talk about being friends. But
we also have the same religious beliefs. Well, speaking of religion, you had
we were.
You had an incident not too long ago where you.
I never had an incident because I'm never in church. So what do you mean I had an incident?
Well, you were in the hospital a while back for your heart.
It didn't have a steeple on top of it. So where are you going at with this?
Well, while you were in the hospital.
Well, you know what it was? Goddamn, you got me. I was in Baptist East Hospital.
See?
Why the fuck was I there? Why wasn't I in Atheist West Hospital? That's what it should have been. I'd got some better treatment.
You know.
So, okay, you got me. All right. I was at a church hospital. That'll fucking teach me.
Well, I said something on Facebook. I'm not a religious guy.
You're not?
No, I mean,
I would have assumed you were. People assume I am because I'm so kind and giving and lighthearted.
That's why they think same with me.
Yeah, well, with me too. You seem to be a nice guy.
Yeah.
You couldn't possibly be an atheist and be a nice guy. I mean, come on. They're the devil.
Well, the last person I had on the show, he's a minister. And he's
well, that's ironic because the last person I had on the bowling alley was a minister, known as the sinister minister who hates religion. So our shows are kind of parallel here, it seems.
Yeah, we need to do a joint broadcast sometime.
I don't do joints. I don't smoke.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, I do. Well, that's what a lot of people tell me.
Well, the preacher asked me if I believed in religion, and I told him I'm atheish.
Okay. All right, I'll accept that. Atheish. I like that, as a matter of fact. Mad I didn't come up with it.
But as well as we might have gotten along personally, it wasn't always easy doing shows together in the beginning. Welcome to We Don't Have Cookies. I'm your host, Jason Marshall. Today, for the first time ever, we have a Skype guest on the podcast. We've had Skype guests on the radio show, but not here. So, Kenny Bolin, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, Jesus. That's the introduction I'm going to give.
I'm sorry.
I am an Arthur. I am a thespian, a world-renowned, top-ranked wrestling manager, top 5, top 3 in a lot of people's polls. Can't claim number 1 thanks to Bobby Heenan. And Kenny Bolin, how you doing?
I tried to do better. Welcome to We Don't Have Cookies. If it's your first time listening, I want to thank you for joining us. Today, I have a former pro wrestling manager, an author, some say a con man, and my friend Kenny Bolin on the show.
A thespian.
Yes.
A thespian. I'm in a movie. I do have a movie, DVDs. I have mass produced recently, and that is the lousiest goddamn introduction I've ever had in my life.
Hey,
I got Kenny Bolin on the show. Like you're my best buddy. Like you're sitting here in the living room with me, and you just introduced me to my mother and father.
It's a hell of a lot better than the last one.
My fucking name is Kenny the Star Maker Bolin. You find me on Twitter, it's /Star Maker Bolin. You find me on at Star Maker Bolin. You find me on Facebook, it's /Star Maker Bolin. You find me on Yahoo, it's Star Maker Bolin. Or Kenny Star Maker or something like fuck, I can't remember them all. So, but no, I'm the Star Maker. You know, my mother doesn't even call me Kenny Bolin. She says, sir, may I please have some money? That's what my mother says.
No,
and I say, no, ma'am, you cannot.
Then there were times where we were having so much fun before the show, we never even gave an introduction to the show until we were already started.
But he does buy a lot of stupid shit. He bought a toilet bowl light. Did we tell you
That's the
about that?
greatest fucking thing I've ever bought.
I have to hear about this.
Saving me on my electric bill.
You're gonna love this story, Jason. He bought a toilet bowl light.
It's called Toilet Glow.
No, bowl glow.
Bowl Glow.
Just real quick, before you start that story,
Glow. Yeah.
welcome to We Don't Have Cookies. With me today is former pro wrestling manager, author, and my friend Kenny Bolin. Go ahead. We started the show now.
Ready to talk about Bowl Glow. You've been talking for an hour and 45 minutes and you weren't recording.
I was recording. I just didn't officially start the show.
Oh, you didn't officially start the show.
introduce-
I don't think we ever did really start the goddamn show,
You
did
just
we?
Yeah.
kind of ruined our whole night.
Did you introduce
I didn't
Mio?
introduce Maya either, so
Yeah, no loss there.
those weren't the only struggles, though. A man as popular as Kenny has a lot of friends, and that means a lot of interruptions to the show.
Little Jimmy O, the bastard son of Jim Cornette. Say hello to Jason Marshall.
Hello, Jason Marshall.
Hey, how's it going, little Jimmy?
Now you see why little Jimmy needs help. Little Jimmy struggled with that, and we do all we can with him. I don't know, Jimmy. What would be your technical title?
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Master of all, jack of all trades, master of none. Are you doing bed risers first? Are you hanging shelves first?
Well,
Are we are we putting the ceramic tile over the bathroom? What are we doing?
well, we ain't gonna get to your risers today.
Well, fuck you.
We gonna get
Did you hear that?
And having pets can get distracting too.
Hang
are
on.
you reading this?
We're interviewing Choco. Go ahead. It's quiet on set. So choky.
A lot of people think Kenny is just a heartless bastard, but I know him as a man with a heart of gold who doesn't have it in him to break a woman's heart.
I can tell you, I've been in relationships with girls around about day 30. You're going, oh God, what have I done? What's a tactful way out of this without going to prison? And remember, I've never laid a hand on a woman in my life. So normally when I break up with a girl, I just quit taking their phone calls. But one outsmarted me. We didn't speak for 4 months. I ducked her calls every day. But she outsmarted me once. She called me from a friend's house and another number lights up and that I knew wasn't a bill collector. And I'm going, or a telemarketer. And well, hell, who's this? Well, let me see who this is. It's her. It's Rhonda. We haven't spoken 4 months. Who is it? This is Rhonda. Rhonda, how you doing? What's up, Rhonda? Oh, honey, it's just been a long time since I heard from you. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm all right.
4 months? Jesus.
Yeah, I'm all right. I just been busy, honey. I just been swamped. 4 months. Well, I was just hoping everything was okay. Oh, and I ain't got the guts to say it. Oh, everything's fine. I just been busier than hell. I'm sorry. I've tried to call you a few times, just, never got through. Bullshit. But I ain't got the guts to break up with the girl. I can't do it. I just, and even back in my good looking days, and yes, folks, if you go back, I wasn't a bad looking guy from, age 42 on back. I wasn't too bad. And then I got fat, but I'm still the best looking fat guy in America. I'm proud to say that. And I dare any fat man that was ever near 600 pounds to argue with me, and they won't because they're all dead. So, or fat and 56, I should say. Find me a 600-pound man is 56 and I'll argue with him. I won't stay all day long because he won't live that long.
They'd run out of breath before they got to a good point. So.
Oh, hell yeah, absolutely. So as you can tell, I don't get out of breath too easy. We're not sitting at my desk on a microphone. So where was I going with this? What story was I telling?
You were telling the one where Rhonda was on the phone with you?
Yeah, Rhonda's on the phone. So believe it or not, I got out of this without really ever having to see her because apparently I got busy again and realized, well, you don't answer that fucking number. But, it took her 4 months to think to call me from another number. So, oh, well, but no, I don't ever remember calling a girl and telling her it's over. Just when it was over, I quit answering the phone, wouldn't talk to her no more. Never was good at face-to-face breakups. Now, I've been broke up with a few times. So you think there would be some revenge in my heart and I would want to, I'll let you have it, you bitch. I'll embarrass you in front of your friends. I'll break up with you in front of your sick mother. But I don't have it in me. I cannot do it. I just don't have it in me. It's easier for me to take the classless way out. I don't text, but if anybody, I couldn't even break up with a text because that means I'd have to say the words that it's over. I don't like you anymore. I found somebody I like better. Many times it wasn't I found anybody I like better. What's the old Rodney line? Well, honey, is it someone else? Oh, there must be.
He also started a charity to help a man whose father would not step up to the plate. And of course, I'm talking about little Jimmy LeBeau.
He's never given a dime to the Bastard Foundation.
No, he hasn't. You came up with the Bastard Foundation, as a matter of fact.
I did, as an easy way to show that this charity is legitimate.
What were the actual letters of the Bastard Foundation? Tell that to everybody.
The Bowling Alley Scholarship Trust and Recreation for Delinquents.
There you go. The Bastard Foundation. Why we haven't posted that on Facebook to start collecting money? We're going to do that, little Jimmy. I think there's people out there that will give to the Bastard Foundation. We haven't asked the people. It's like church.
He also gets a bad rap for deleting people on his friends list on Facebook on their birthdays. But here's a story of one person who he deleted, but later regretted and tried to make things right.
And of course, every birthday I block people. You've heard that story, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that day. I love every day because every day I get to block somebody.
You know,
well, not block them, but delete them.
Well, yeah, you delete them. You don't block them. But
I don't block them. Don't block them at all.
One time we went overboard with a woman named Renee Bear.
We did fuck with Renee Bear pretty bad.
Renee Bear, if you are out there, please come back into our lives.
Have we ever told you the story of Renee Bear?
No, I haven't heard that one.
You should not do what I did, but we did it, and Maya remembers it almost better than I did. But Renee Bear, if you're out there, we're real fucking sorry, man.
So Kenny is friends with this woman named Renee Bear, and she has two pictures. One picture is of her on her motorcycle. The other one is of her with her motorcycle helmet on. And Kenny was going through the birthdays of that day. And you know that he goes through the birthdays.
She had never written me.
In 6 years.
6 fucking years, not one goddamn letter.
That is 5 years that he did not see her birthday and delete her. 5 times she got away with it.
5 times.
So
I must have been out of town or something on her birthday every year for 5 years. Because I would have got her.
So after 6 years, he goes on her wall. He sees we haven't been friends in 6 years. And it's like 3 p.m. And you know how your mother probably says nothing good happens after 2 p.m.?
I just can't excuse a 6-year absence of writing me. It can't be ignored. It can't. I've let her get away with murder if I let her slide, and I saw that she hadn't written me. She's gotten away with murder.
Have you been a more petty person?
She's been okay. Free Lena Bear. No, it's Renee Bear.
It's Renee Bear.
Renee Bear. Lena Bear is somebody else.
So Renee Bear, he goes through her pictures. He's making fun of her. He comments on her picture with the motorcycle helmet on. Oh, hon, this is the best looking picture. Your face looks so pretty.
Your face.
Obviously. So he goes on her wall and he writes, "Happy birthday, ... Love and miss you so much, but you haven't written me in 6 years. So I'm going to have to delete you from my life.
It must end now. So sorry."
And then he keeps going back and forth and he says, "But I miss you so much. I don't know what to do. But you disrespected me. I can't afford having you in my life anymore.
I must make an example of you."
And so he posts this after a while, and it's this long paragraph that keeps getting longer and longer.
It's lengthy.
If we are up after 3 a.m., and especially if we're on social media, we are fucking something up. And that was the perfect example right there. So he writes this long paragraph. After he writes the paragraph, he writes a comment on his own post saying, "Damn, I already regret this. I miss you so much. Will you please send me a friend request so I can consider taking you back?"
Yeah, if you will send me a friend request, I will consider taking you back.
And then on the end of the post,
I'm so sorry. I may have jumped the gun on this. Maybe there's a reason you didn't write me for 6 years. And if you will just write me, I will consider taking you back.
And then he goes on and says, "Actually, no, you disrespected me. You went against you hurt my feelings. It's hurting my heart, but I miss you so much." He keeps going back and forth. He comments on it again and says, "By the way, no, I was not drunk while I wrote this. I was just so hurt. But you're the love of my life. I love you so much. But I gotta get rid of you."
I cannot be disrespected in this way.
After he cancels the friendship, he even wrote her a message. that he misses her, but she just hurt him so much he can't have her in his life. And he starts tagging people in the post saying, even my friends of 6 years, and he's tagging all sorts of people saying this person and that person, they had the decency of contacting me. He starts bitching her out, and then at the end he says, okay, see you then. Love you.
I love you, baby. Bye-bye. This son of a bitch must have been 41 paragraphs long by the time I got done.
I have a
Jesus.
screenshot
Because I would
somewhere.
always keep, Maya took screenshots of it. And I was going back and added more. And she had to think, what fucking raving lunatic. Thank God I never wrote this guy. And so I tried to get her back about 2 years later. And I tried to get her back. But what I realized is it was the same photograph. Same picture. She hadn't changed her profile picture.
Never posted anything.
Yeah, it's
It was a
never.
fake account.
So it's probably a fake account.
I remember we
I
woke
wasted
Chris
a
up.
lot of time.
We woke Chris up at about
So come back,
3:30.
and read it all because we thought it was funny.
Yeah, he's like, "Why are you waking me up? Did something happen?" I'm like, "Yes, look at Twitter. Look at what I sent you."
Well, actually, it was
up.
Facebook. That was a Facebook.
Well, no, he didn't have Facebook, so I had to.
Well,
send
you
him
had to
screenshots
write him on
Twitter.
Twitter. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought
he was
you meant
cracking
Renee
up.
Bear. Renee Bear was definitely a Facebooker.
Renee will miss you.
Renee Bear, I know you're out there. You sexy little cycle bitch.
If you have a fan named Renee Bear, I'm gonna shit myself.
Renee Bear, if I ever find you, I'm going to pull you off that motorcycle, and I'm going to rub my penis on that little face mask of yours. I'm going to show you what you could have had the last 8 years. Sexy fucking biker bitch. I love you. Just in case anybody knows Renee Bear, get that word to her.
Oh,
Big old 3.2-inch penis all over that mask. Looking like a windshield wiper going back and forth on that thing.
all right. I hope you guys had fun recording this episode of Renee Bear and the Bowl Glow.
Biker bitch.
Some people also describe him as a man who's hard-headed and won't apologize, but that's dead wrong. He's apologized to me one day for taking over my podcast.
We're just fucking assholes. We shouldn't be allowed on podcast. I mean, I can understand controlling ours, but this is this man's show.
Man, I'm sorry,
He makes his living doing this shit. And we just fucked it all up.
I think you really owe him a camera for this.
Fuck you. Well, back to your point. And do remember, if you comb your hair right, no one will notice.
The Kenny Bolin that I know is a loving man who cares a lot about his family. The first time I did a show with Kenny was on the radio, and he was very concerned about his mother's health. We almost didn't get Kenny on today. He was kind of upset earlier. He got some bad news with his mom. She went to the doctor today. Is everything okay, Kenny?
Oh, you guys have heard about this, huh?
Yeah.
I figured it would be going probably viral on the internet by now. Yeah, some bad news out there about Mal Bolin. A lot of you guys are familiar with Mal Bolin, and we've had our differences over the years and try to patch things up as best we can. But got a phone call from her today. She now lives out in Shelbyville, Kentucky, with my niece Debbie, and they both called me with the absolute horrible news today. My niece Debbie took Mal Bolin to the local doctor there in Shelbyville and ran a full exam on her, full test, blood test. I mean, you name it, they did it all. And unfortunately, they came back with this information that I just found hard to take, that my mother, Mal Bolin, is in absolute perfect health and will probably live another 20 to 30 years.
That's horrible.
So, I'm sorry to hear that.
Horrible. Hard for me to take. Hard for me. I almost canceled the show after getting this news today. But I'm going to suck it up and I'm going to go forward. I mean, tough people move forward, and that's what I am. I'm a tough guy, and we're going to deal with this news and move forward, and hope maybe get a second opinion.
He even discovered some repressed memories from his childhood that has severely negatively affected him to this day.
My mother was a truck stop prostitute, but yet she cooked us 7 squares a day.
I'm sorry, a week.
Maybe I know what I'm talking about now. Jenny, it's time for your 7th meal. Yeah, it's in here. I can't, Mom. You're going to eat it. You can't go outside and play. I don't want to go outside and play. God damn, fool. I just want 5 meals from now on, Mom. Let Janice have the other 2. So Janice started eating 9 meals a day, and you saw what happened to her. So, yep, that explains a whole fucking lot. I'm glad we broke that down. Self-diagnosis is the way to cure yourself, Maya. Just always eat your 9 squares a day and quit bitching.
But he's forgiven her, and he visits her every chance he gets.
The only reason I speak to my mom is that she forgot she's a racist. the old timers has set in, and she forgot.
The old timers.
She thinks she's a decent human being now. Went out to see her the other day. We went out and got her dinner. We got it catered by Hometown Pizza out in LaGrange. And we noticed Mom's memory was fading a little bit, and she had told us she hadn't seen my cousin in 3 months. I called my cousin. I said, God damn, I said, how come you haven't been going out to see Ma Bolin? I said, you live fucking 4 miles from her. How come you ain't visiting her? She said, Kenny, I was there with her last week. I sat on the porch with her and watched it rain. Okay, I guess you were. She said, Kenny, I go every Sunday to see your mom. I'm going today. I got a family reunion. And then I'm going to take your mom some food and from the family reunions. But no, Kenny, I swear to you, I go out there every weekend. I said, well, ask Mom when she saw me. I said, I was there Friday, and it's now Sunday. So she gets there, and she brings Mom a bunch of food from the family picnic. Goes in there, Mom's eating like she's going to the electric chair. She's eating chicken and tater salad and just putting shit down left and right. She says, oh, by the way, when's the last time you saw Kenny? Oh, he was out here about 3 or 4 weeks ago. It had been 2 days. So Mom's memory is kind of fading. She's still sharp. She's still quick. You know, we say jokes and she gets them all and she chimes in and you'd never know that anything is really, really wrong. But her memory is really, really bad right now. So she's got about $5,000 in her bank account she's got saved up. And I'm going to remind her that she owed that to me. Don't you remember? Got to get to her before the rest of those fucking racist bastards do. Mom, who you want to have that money? You don't want June having it. You know June died, right? What? Yeah, about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was 3 or 4 weeks ago June died,
That's
Mom.
why she hasn't been out.
You at the funeral, Mom. Goddamn, you was one of the pallbearers. We propped her casket up on your wheelchair to make it easy for you. Shit. Remember, you dropped her. Fell out of the casket. Me and Timmy John had to put her back in. Me and old Biscuits and Gravy. Goddamn taxidermist ran up there trying to fix what was broken.
Made a joke
I said,
about
get that man out of here. None of these people here pay taxes.
Made a joke about how June was finally in the fall. As you just heard, his daughter-in-law Maya has started doing shows with us too. She loves Kenny and even watched his dogs while he was in the hospital. One of them pooped in her bed because they were upset with her, but we found out that the dog wasn't the only one doing the same thing at the same time.
Right in my
Wasn't that while I
bed.
was in the hospital?
Yeah, probably was.
I think that
Yeah.
was towards the end of my hospital.
Because I
stay.
had to watch him for a while, but he gets mad. I mean, so mad, like a human.
Oh,
Except
yeah.
we don't poop in our beds. We start passive-aggressive
Well,
fights.
Speak for yourself. You don't know how many nurses I've pissed off in the hospital, do you? You mean I can't have a double helping of spaghetti? See you in an hour. What happened in your bed? I don't know, but you got to clean it. That's all I know. You're the fucking hired help around here, not me. Oh, by the way, do I get 2 scoops of spaghetti tomorrow?
So this is why you haven't had your surgery yet. They don't want to deal with your ass.
I'm banned from that.
It's the worst
I'm
in the
going to have to go
hospital.
to another hospital. They're not going to let me back in there. It's amazing what 68 consecutive days of shitting in a bed will do to a nurse's attitude.
As his daughter-in-law, Maya is always concerned about Kenny's health. Here's a loving story about Maya being concerned for him.
This dog earlier, so
They
he got
like
some
it.
coleslaw from Raising Cane's. I don't know if you know that place. And then Choco walks in, and she is the most beggy dog. She sits right in front of you with those big eyes. She wants every piece. And Chris walks in, and Choco is thinking about the coleslaw. So he goes, Chris, look at what Slokey stinks of the choke slaw.
I I had a lot of various words running through my head.
I swear to God, the doctors don't think he had a stroke, but they're
The
lying.
doctors swear
I
I
was
never.
about to ask if you took him in to have a check.
Well, Cornette was convinced I'd had at least 54.
Oh
My son estimate was in the 50s, so they finally had to run a CAT scan on this valuable piece of equipment I've got between my ears, and turned out everything was fine. No reason for alarm.
no.
Everything was fine. Slokey's fine. Don't worry about Slokey.
He's fine. No, it's gotten so bad. The other day we were in Main Event. It's like this place, kind of like will you stop showing him your belly? Oh my God! Close your eyes. It's hard. It's hard to watch.
I didn't know the camera went down that low.
The other day we go over.
The camera goes down lower than you do.
We go over to Main Event, and it's kind of a place like what's it called? David Buster? Dave and Buster's, yeah.
Yeah, I like that place.
And they have a restaurant at the front. And so he's eating, and he's thinking about what he's going to order. And he decides to order the teriyaki salmon. So the waitress is sitting next to us, and he goes, I'll have the teriyaki salmon. What sauce comes with that? And she goes, teriyaki, duh.
Oh, no.
That sounds like, what's it called? What's that sauce you wanted? Tartar. That sounds like tartar sauce would go well to that. Well, tartar sauce. Do you guys even sell fish?
Y'all even sell fish?
She goes, you're ordering salmon, sir.
I wanted
back to back like that. I'm telling you, if that's not a stroke, I don't know.
I was just tired, you know.
I gotta know if you dipped your teriyaki salmon in tartar sauce. Was it good?
They didn't give me no tartar sauce.
Damn it. Kenny isn't the only one who has trouble speaking at times. I remember one incident when she was doing some intros for the podcast, and this happened.
Welcome to the We Don't Have Cookies retro show. I can't even say retro. I don't know.
It sounds so funny. I don't want to say anything, but you sound like Scooby.
What? Whoa.
I'm expecting you to say Shaggy afterwards.
You're going to have to do that one yourself. I cannot say retro. I cannot say it. Say retro. Retro.
Jason, Maya, you're in trouble.
You said you expected me to say Shaggy afterwards.
It's still like a cross between Astro on the Jetsons and Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Say it. I can't say the word.
Retro.
I cannot say that.
Retro?
Retro.
I'm going to have you say Thaddeus.
If you need me to say Thaddeus on the show, I'll do that. But retro. I cannot say that. I'm sorry.
We'll just skip to the next one. There was also the time she tried to say one of Kenny's customers' names.
So Maya wants to know if so-and-so got their package. And I said, who? And she says the name again. I said, who? So say the name that you were asking me if they got their package today or not.
Thaddeus.
Did you hear that? Say it one more time.
Thaddeus.
Yeah, it sounds a hell of a lot like Thaddeus, don't it? So I'm sitting here, and Thaddeus has called me today, so I know that his ID's on my caller ID. So I said, Maya, hand me that phone. And I think she already knows what I'm doing because she knows he's called here for assistance on how to do the headphones. And then she sees me scrolling through, and it lights up Thaddeus Wolf. And I call him. Well, I know he's on because he was just chatting with me on Facebook. So I know goddamn well he's close to this phone somewhere. And he answers the phone. I said, Thaddeus Wolf. He said, yes. I said, what the fuck do you want? What do you mean? I said, why are you fucking bothering me this time of night? But Mr. Bolin, you called me. Oh, yeah, you're right. I did. So I said, Thaddeus, I said, I got a problem over here and I want you to help me solve it. I said, my daughter-in-law, for whatever fucking reason, who speaks 5 languages, cannot say your name. He says, really? I said, Maya, say his name. So now, once again,
Thaddeus.
And he says, excuse me? And I said, say it again.
Thaddeus.
I said, okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to teach Miss 5 Languages here how to say your name. So, and I want you to do this just like we did yesterday.
Okay.
I said, okay. Now, and I got Thaddeus hanging on for the whole thing. I said, here we go. Say Thad.
Thad.
D.
Deed.
Not deed. D.
Deed.
Not deed. D. Thad. D.
Deef.
No, not deef. He can hear. Thad.
D's.
No, not dis.
D.
Not D's.
D.
Not don't give me some of D's. Thad. D.
D.
Just the letter fucking D.
D.
Thad. There you go. Thad.
Thad. D.
us.
Us.
All right, here we go. Run it all together. Fatty us.
Fatty does. I just can't.
And she is really, I swear to God, folks, she's really trying. She is not fucking this up because she so badly wants to get his name right to impress him. Well, it ain't never going to fucking happen. So we tried for 15 minutes with him on the phone to teach her how to say his name. So then she actually tries to try it again. And how did it come out, Maya?
Fat ass.
Fat ass. Fat ass. Well, there you go. There's another customer ran off. You'll never buy any goddamn thing again. Why? Don't be grabbing me, pull me off the show. Goddamn, you're blacking out. About goddamn time.
Seriously, when I laugh too hard, I blank out. It happens all the time.
She does. She blacks out a lot.
Oh, God.
Chogi so much. When Chogi laughs, she don't black out. She just hangs right in there.
Names aren't the only thing she has a different take on. She has a similar problem with fairy tales.
Jason, let me ask you a question.
All right.
You know fairy tales, right?
Yeah.
You have 2 daughters. You should be pretty up to date on fairy tales. Do you know the fairy tale of that little girl that breaks into a bear's house?
No.
Little Red Robin Hood.
No, that's not her. That's the one.
Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
The Three
That's
Bears.
right.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Three Bears.
Goldilocks.
And,
My porridge is cold.
nosy ass girl and the 3 bears. And she breaks into a house, and correct me if this is wrong, because we've had an argument about this. She eats their grits, she lays in their bed, and she drinks their wine, right?
She eats their oatmeal.
Okay, oatmeal, fine.
Drink their fucking wine.
Pretty
they were
sure.
not alcoholic fucking bears.
The little girl drank the wine.
No one German.
I'm pretty sure the little girl drank the wine. What else would you do?
Well, for a children's story, she wasn't drinking fucking wine. You Germans probably told it that way. Somebody's been fucking in my bed. Somebody's been masturbating in my bathtub. Somebody drank all my wine. That's how the story goes in Germany. Somebody's been snorting my coke. Somebody's bet their lips on my bong. Yeah. That's how Little Red Riding Blow was her name over there. Well, if Maya's my audience, I can do stand-up now. I just sit at the table and tell Little Red Riding Hood.
This is not even close to the funniest thing you've ever said to me.
Get out. Get out. Oh, when Maya first got here, and it's the first time her and I had ever gone shopping at Kroger that I can recall. And she says, now, do we need to get some food for the animals? I noticed she's running low. I said, yeah. I said, the dog's like this and that. And by the way, Sylvester likes kitten caboodle, and she loses her fucking mind. She thinks I'm making up cat foods now.
And he's in his handicap
I'm
card,
in my handicap
just
card.
riding around, and I'm in the other aisle, so you keep screaming,
Maya,
get some kitten caboodle!
Maya, have you got the kitten caboodle? And she's just losing her fucking mind in Kroger in hysterics. I can't figure out what the fuck she's laughing at. And she's laughing over, I'm calling the cat food. When she finds the bag and reads it, she loses her fucking mind again. Oh my God, it's really called kitten caboodle.
Oh God!
No German would ever come up with such an idiotic name.
See, we don't have little puns and little cute stories like that for our
No,
children.
I can assure you, there's no.
We have
when Little Red Riding Hood's a fucking crack at one.
No, we have some fairy tales and they're pretty cute, but we have this really famous book. Every kid grows up with it. It's a little book of like rhyming little stories with morals and lessons, and
sounded like the three bears with the 3 drug dealers to me. Somebody's been snorting my coke. Somebody's been sucking on my bong.
Yeah, no, we wouldn't quite have that. But we have these little stories, and they all end in the children dying, and it's pretty cute.
Somebody took all my hydrocodone. Somebody been making meth in my bathtub. Yes, the 3 drug dealers. I think she's confusing that with the 3 bears. Don't quite have that problem over here.
Killa must have told me that story.
Killa, yeah, I think Killa told you that one. Someone's drinking my wine.
Yeah.
Let me know if you've ever told that story to your daughters that way. I'm trying to hear that.
No, I haven't heard that part.
Somebody got in her liquor cabinet.
Well, I always assume, she goes in and she eats their grits or oatmeal or soup or whatever.
Or whatever.
Then she has their wine.
I'll accept changing it from oatmeal to grits to soup. I'll give you that.
I've always thought she had wine, and then she went to lay down because she was drunk.
She was drunk and passed out. Yeah, that's what happened. God forbid she just got fucking tired. She was liquored up, been fucking all day out in the forest. God damn, why are you not recording this? We are never going to do anything funnier than that. Did you hit record and it just recorded everything we done like on a DVR?
I started 52 minutes ago.
I hope you did. I hope you did.
But she's also provided some insight into Kenny's life that I wouldn't have had without her. Well,
Yeah.
right before we started the show, Maya was about to talk about your toilet bowl light, and I have to hear about this. So we can't get sidetracked from that story.
My second one, by the way.
It
My
is.
second
Oh,
one.
we're gonna get there. Explain to them what a bowl glow is.
Bowl glow. What it is that it is a very nice light that hangs on the rim of your toilet. You hit a couple of buttons. You adjust the brightness level that you want, the circulation of the continuous changing of the colors of the lights, because they go red, yellow, blue, purple, white, green.
Just real quick, I typed it into Google. I just typed in bowl glow.
Right.
Fourth result was bowl glow, Louisville, Kentucky. So
Really?
it must be very
Have I
popular there.
manufactured the Bow Glow? Have I invented
They must
Bow
be a
Glow?
new sponsor. We've talked about them a lot.
Well, I have plugged. Well, you plugged them a lot. You bitch about me having a Bow Glow on
I
every
do.
show we
I
do.
do. Oh my god, I can't stand the thing. Well, this is how it works. When you walk into the room, it's kind of like a nightlight. It feels the motion and it turns on. So he likes to say that he likes it for the dogs because the dogs like to drink out of the toilet.
Yeah,
It's
and it
cold,
look
I guess.
and Choco thinks she's drinking Big Red because it always starts out red.
I am looking at a picture of this thing. It looks like the Smurfs are having a rave inside your toilet bowl.
Yeah, Choco walks in there, and it always, for whatever reason, it always starts out red, and it'll cycle through the colors. Well, it used to be, it'd be red, it would be blue, it would be green, it'd be yellow, white, and then about that time you've left. Well, this one here is a fancy one. This one here molds and melts into the other colors. It's just kind of a, I don't know what you'd call it. I may have just said it as good as you can say it.
Yeah, I think
But
we
it,
can picture it. Yeah.
But it's not an instant change of colors. It melds into the next color.
I think you have picked up on the fact that he has had two of these. So this is the
Well,
story.
the other one quit working.
Well, this is the story of how he got these bowl glows. So at first, he wanted to have it as a nightlight, and he was going to go into the bathroom at night.
Because the bright lights wake me up, and I don't want to go to the bathroom and be all woken up. I want to be in a basic line of induced coma when I go back to bed.
Now, Jason, if you were to picture that, you wake up at night, you go into your bathroom,
Pitch black.
you see it's pitch black, you see a little red light, you know where the bowl is, you
There you
pee,
go.
and you go back to bed. That makes sense to you, right?
Yeah.
Here's the difference. You pee standing up. I don't. And not only do I not pee standing up,
Hmm.
I sit down on the bowl and the light's gone. And
But you made it to the bowl. You don't need any light
yeah,
once
how am
you
I going to
set
find the toilet paper? What if somebody walks in? I wouldn't know. It's not a nightlight if I sit on it.
If you can't reach to your left a foot and a half and find the goddamn toilet paper, you should be wiping your ass
I'm
anyway.
already not wearing glasses.
Go back to
at
bed
night.
and roll in the sheets until all the poopy's gone. And
If I was a woman, I would sit on the toilet. I would spread my legs so the light can shine out in between and just go, ah. Every night at 3 a.m, I'd say, hey, Chris, check this out. You got to get up.
what's that red glow or that snapping turtle you do?
Well, here's the thing. I'm not the only person in the house that sits while she pees. Kenny has also realized that
It's easier.
standing while peeing is apparently too much work.
Too much trouble.
So he also sits down, and I think it's safe to say, despite my Brazilian heritage, that Kenny has the bigger ass. And if I'm having trouble not covering up the nightlight, he certainly does. So now at this point,
It is a lunar eclipse.
the only people that use this toilet.
See the moon, the lunar,
yeah.
dumbass.
So the only people that stay overnight at this place, especially the old house, I'm talking about the old Boglo at this point.
The old vocal.
The only people that stay overnight there are Kenny in his bedroom and sometimes me on the couch when I was watching the dogs. So now
you were watching the dogs.
when the
You were watching your 5.5 inch phone all fucking night.
All right, when the dogs
Want to
watch
talk
me-
about bow glow?
So the only two people in this house that could be potentially peeing at night, are both people who sit on the bowl glow.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him, and I've made fun of him so many times. I said, "You buy stupid shit. Anything that you see on Amazon, you basically
All
buy."
I got to do is get to the hole, and I'm good. As long as I can get to the hole. And when I step in, the first foot in the bathroom, the light
The first
kicks on.
foot in the bowl. That's
First
exactly.
foot, well, I'm still 2 to 3 steps away from the hole. So I put my foot in the bathroom door. The light goes, he's here. He's here. And then it lights up.
Anticipation.
And then it lights up red. It looks like I'm getting ready to shit on the devil. That's what it looks like, because it looks like a bow glow of hell. And then by the time I get up, it's a sultry little purple, a little bit of green, a little yellow,
A little lavender.
a little white, a little lavender, and then I'm just so mellowed out, I just go back to bed. And my pupils are nice and non-dilated, and I go back to bed and I sleep like a little baby. Because the little babies go back to bed with a shitty ass too.
Please tell me you've bought one of these for Jim Cornette for his birthday or Christmas or something.
I haven't, because they cost like $9, and I haven't bought him one. And
So
that's
you'll
a lot.
buy one for yourself, the only person on earth, the only man on earth that sits down while pissing, but you won't buy one for Jimmy.
It protects
who
the
does
bow
pee a
glow.
lot
I
and who
cannot.
stands
Well,
up.
here's my theory on it. The reason I started sitting down to pee was solely because of the bow glow. Because if you stand up, as you know, especially late at night, men have horrible aim for various reasons. And at 57 years of age, the aim is not what it was at 27. And I don't want to pee on my bow glow and short it out.
I thought it made your ass warm.
I don't want to start in the light ain't that bright.
It's really depressing that it doesn't, though. That would feel really well.
Yeah,
it would
yeah.
feel really, really good.
Well, I'll talk to the good folks at Bow Glow and see if we can't come up with something of about a 75-watt nature.
If they don't listen to you now, they're going to be they're going to have a mean message.
Mulligan's
from you, 'cause
Meat is jealous of how much time we've given Bow Glow tonight.
if they don't call you tonight for sponsorship, I'm going to be really disappointed.
well, I have to mention, because no matter whose show I do, I got to bring up my sponsors, Collar and Elbow T-shirts. We got to bring those good folks up.
Yeah, they make like really soft T-shirts. It's
Yeah,
really cool.
Maya got they come up here to get us to sponsor them, and I got 2 shirts. Chris got 1. Maya got 5. And Jack's quote today, by the way, Maya got shirts. She got 5 shirts. She ain't even in the business. I said, well, neither the fuck are you. Who the fuck? Maya's grabbed more fucking headlocks in the last 5 years than you have, you fuck.
You know,
I tried to get a sponsor called Poopery. It's a
You know,
thing.
Poopery,
We own that. We own it.
we have Poopery.
They
It's
bought
awesome.
it. They bought it for me for Christmas. And boy, you want to talk about a goddamn shit eliminator.
If you can't tell, he spends a lot of time really thinking about what
Thinking
he's
about
going to do on
quality
the
time.
bowl.
Well, have you ever noticed I didn't have a TV in the bathroom?
No,
What do I not have right now?
a TV in the
I'm
bathroom.
fucking miserable. I do not have a 32-inch TV in the
See, I
bathroom.
don't understand that.
For the
not
first
long
time
enough-
since 1996 have I not got a TV in the bathroom.
I'm not in the bathroom long enough to watch.
I've been
the show.
thinking about hanging the Bluetooth one on the wall, and that way we can watch Netflix and all that shit.
Who watches Netflix while shitting?
Me, many
That's
times.
fucking weird,
I'll watch a fucking a 6-part comedy series while I'm taking a shit.
Oh my god! it's
Not that I'm
weird.
shitting the whole time. It's just that I'm comfortable, and I'm in no hurry to wipe.
This is getting asinine.
Jason,
You're trying to make me the butt of the joke, aren't you?
did you think you were going to spend your night talking about Kenny's toilet habits?
You're all just getting anal about this whole thing.
No, I don't give a shit.
Well, if I had something good to rhyme with sphincter, I'd do it right now, but I got nothing. I think we have just expired all the ass jokes that we can come up with. This is just a shitty fucking story.
I'm sure you can pull one out of your ass.
Porn at. But back to Bow Glow.
We're not done with this yet.
Well, I reinvented it because Maya, all she does is bitch because there's a glow coming from the toilet, and it makes her feel weird. She don't like the glow coming from
You
the
know what
toilet.
messes with me? You're right.
And she bitched because Maya's ample ass was creating that lunar eclipse, and she couldn't see anything. I said, well, I'm going to fix this. And what did I name it when I attached it to the sink?
Sink blink.
Sink blink. Sink blink. And
You
so we,
attach it to the sink.
and that's where it's at now. It's
So
not
you
even
still
on the
have the
toilet.
night
It's
light.
not even on the toilet right now.
Yeah, I mean, that was a brilliant idea because
It was
fits
brilliant.
in perfectly. You still have the night light. You're not pissing on it.
No, not pissing
You're
on
not
it.
sitting on it.
Not sitting on it. A lot of advantages
Yeah.
to Sink Blink,
Absolutely.
especially when Sink Blink is right by the commode.
Yeah.
And on
So-
top of that, if it goes dark, you just move your elbow and it lights right back up.
That's another thing. It would go dark if you don't move. So if you're in there for a while,
And I'm pretty stationary when I'm serious about shitting. I don't move much.
Well,
I just lock in.
I have
man.
a tendency
I just
of
lock
falling
in.
asleep as I pee when I'm peeing.
And
at
everybody
night.
out there's going, Bolin shits in the dark. So he probably has no magazines in his bathroom. There are none.
I've
there's
never
a-
seen you read anything.
There's going to be. I think, this is the biggest bathroom I've ever had. I think we could go about 60 inches on a big screen in there.
No.
It would go from shower edge to toilet edge, but I think it would fit.
I want to know how the hell this turned into the bowling alley.
Well, you ain't got your own show no more. You just hijack other people's. And you are stupid enough to start on a conversation with two Bolins versus one Marshall. And everyone knows there ain't never been a Marshall that could beat me in anything.
So the
Marshall
question is,
Dillon,
Yeah.
Marshall Raylan Givens, Marshall Tucker.
the real question here is, Jason, are you buying a Sink Blink?
I will as soon as it comes out.
Or do you want a bow glow? You all pissed me off and sent me to watch Pete Rose. But the great thing about it, I was only about 1.6 feet away from bow glow. Well, it's Sink Blink now, though.
Sink Blink.
Yeah, well, I couldn't risk you pissing all over bow glow. You got bad aim back there. You sit crooked. Anything could have happened. Anything. Well, I'm starting to wonder.
It's funny, though. I've always wondered if men. I didn't know before.
I hope
got
it's
with
funny
Chris.
because if people don't think bow glow is funny, we've wasted a lot of fucking time.
Well, I didn't know that men can pee when sitting down until I met Chris. I had no clue, of course.
If you have a big penis, you can.
Well, Chris
Little
told
bitty
me
penis
about
gets a
other men
lot
doing
harder.
it.
A lot harder if you got a little bitty tiny penis. Your thighs get wet, it's a mess.
Yeah, well, I don't want to.
And I know the people out there, well, how does he know that? None of your business. Do they call me a wet thighs bowling in the locker room?
No,
Here comes Kenny Wet Thighs.
I didn't know people could pee. Well, men could pee while sitting down, and ultimately, when he told me, I realized, why are they teaching little boys to stand? It makes a huge fucking mess. They could as well just sit.
It really should be taught in school. It really should.
It should be taught
I mean, I'll
in school.
volunteer. I mean, I'll go. I mean, come on, we're going to show you
You
how
want
to
to
pee.
volunteer?
I'm-
to
well,
hold the
who
penises
knows
of
better
these
than
little
me?
boys?
All the bow glow peas I've done, so I wouldn't get the goddamn thing wet. I'll teach the little tykes how to do it.
You know, it's
Come
actually
here,
not
put
bad.
your penis between your thighs and let it go. Oh, you're going to get wet thighs, aren't you, little boy? All right, well, fuck you.
Seems
Little
like
tiny penis, little bastard.
they would just make the kids sit, you know,
Well, you think it'd be taught before they get to school. You really would.
or at least sit
Because it
for
is a lot
while
less
and-
messy.
Oh, God, it's
Because there's a lot of men, grown men, all
You still
ages.
can't aim.
Aim sucks, or there's physical things going on that prevent them from having the good aim. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but
I've looked at a lot of penises. though.
I've been in a lot of hospitals, though. I feel qualified to talk about how to pee sitting down or not. And I don't know. I'm rather passionate about this.
All
I
right,
really am.
folks, tune in next week for Bolin seminar on how to pee.
Yeah,
while
this is
sitting
what they
down.
call the lights out part. We don't give a fuck if you stay or listen right now. This is the lights out segment of the show. We turn the bow glow off. We have hit the light. We're all peeing in the dark right now, folks. Peeing in the dark. Holy shit! How did that get in the sink? I didn't think a grown man could shit in the sink, but that's where the bow glow was. I sat where I saw red glow.
Well, before we wrap this up,
Fucking 2.5 pound turd in the sink, all because of you. You'd have think because that sink's about 2.5 feet higher than a commode, I would have known. But my ass is just taught to go where the glow is.
before we wrap this up, I want to let everybody know.
Wrap this up 25 minutes ago.
We have a sponsor for the show. It's called Boss Boxes. It's basically one of the, it's a box that comes to you every month with a bunch of different video game things in it. They have them for PCs, PlayStation 4s, Xbox Ones.
That's the least professional introduction ever. It's got all kinds of things in it.
Yeah, it sounds really fun though.
So if you go to bossboxes.store
Boss boxes.
and you want to order one, you can enter the promo code WDHC at checkout. That stands for We Don't Have Cookies, but don't enter We Don't Have Cookies. Enter WDHC. You get 10% off. And that's all I'm going to say about that because I don't get paid a lot.
Didn't seem to be putting a lot of effort into it. Well, you got all kinds.
I know. You get what you give.
A list of what he gets. Yeah, you get all kinds of shit. Just go order box cocks or whatever they. Whatever. You might even get a box of cocks if you like.
You won't be
able to hang them out around your bow glove.
You want a better ad than that? Pay me a little more money.
Yeah, my sponsors are better than yours. I'm almost embarrassed to bring up Mulligan's Meats now after hearing box cocks. What's next? Pix Dicks? Box cocks. Box cocks. Like Sink Blink. I'm marketing genius, I'm telling you. But be careful with Sink Blink because you might shit in your sink. And that ain't good. It's hard to get out.
I love how
Plunger.
your ass in the
Plunger.
scenario has the eyes, and your ass will
Yeah,
see
my ass has the eyes. It goes to where the glow is.
We always have a good time, and sometimes you hear them do things you don't hear them do anywhere else. Before you guys sing that,
On tape delay.
I know we got a lot of new listeners who came on just to hear Kenny. I want to let those people know the podcast is available on iTunes, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, anywhere podcasts are available. So make sure you subscribe because Kenny comes on once a month, and we have exclusives like this.
Okay, this is a little song that Maya and I wrote together while in my ex-wife's living room while Maya was shitting her pants wondering if mouses could climb on ceilings.
Mouses. Oh my
Mouses.
god, I'm already cracking up.
So here we go. This is the first time ever worldwide released version of Spider Mouse. All right, a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Spider Mouse comes from the garage into your house. Sticks a turd any size, swats it with his tail right in your eyes. Look out, there goes a Spider Mouse. Is he strong? Listen, please. He eats radioactive cheese. Takes his wife to his bed. For that slut to give him head. Look out, here comes a Spider Mouse. In the chill of night, while he's fucking your wife, like a streak of light, he explodes just in time. Spider Mouse, horny neighborhood Spider Mouse. Cats and dogs he ignores. Fucking your wife is his reward to him. Life is a great big whorehouse. Wherever there's a whorehouse, you'll find a Spider Mouse.
And sometimes we have so much fun it gets very, very late, and one of us might want to go to bed or loses track of what they were talking about.
Oh,
But dude, who the fuck's dumber than Cam Moron now? Yeah, name that guy that's still walking around and functional. Cam Moron's fucking moron, you know. The stupidest motherfucker that ever lived. I want to tell you this. This is what we're going to close the show with.
Thank
Cam Moron.
God.
Cam Moron. Cam Moron. All you had to do was hit the stop button a long time ago, assholes. So don't get smart with me.
I did hit the mute
We
button.
would have left if you'd told us it wasn't recording. Eventually. Cam Moron, he's not very bright. You know what? This is embarrassing because I forgot what I was going to say about him. We're going to close the show on Cam Moron.
But no matter what, we've always stood by each other. Well, joining me right now is the new person who does the intros for the show, all the little voiceovers that we do. It's my friend Maya. How you doing?
Hey, Jason, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, whoa.
I'm good.
When the fuck this happened?
Jason's my friend.
Well, I know he's your friend, but what's he talking about? Doing all the introductions for shows and
Well, it was an honor. He asked me. He said he liked my voice. He said he liked
what's wrong
my
with
company.
What's wrong with my voice?
Well,
It's not very, you know, it's
I mean, not very
non-
appealing. Women all over the goddamn world love my voice. Even some men. A lot of men.
I have heard your voice described as the butt sexiest voice in podcasting.
The butt sucksiest. That don't sound like a compliment. Just that. So wait, are y'all ripping me really?
No, I'm serious. Yeah.
When did you do this?
Guess what? A week ago, maybe.
That night
Yeah.
when you was out here tying up my fucking computer, my brand spanking new computer brought to me by the good folks at Mulligan's Meat.
Yeah. Well, it was hard work. And
Well, you
Took
were sitting
like
down
2
here chuckling
hours.
and laughing the whole fucking time. I thought y'all was just
I'm a
clowning
funny
and
person.
bullshitting.
No.
You're not that funny. I'm the funny one. Are you shitting me? No, wait a minute. Let me make sure I got this straight. You had Maya introduce you on your show
Mm-hmm.
instead of me.
Yeah.
And you give me 5 good reasons why.
Well, she only wanted $300.
And
That's
I wouldn't-
one.
I wouldn't have worked that
there you
cheap.
go. I'm a little fussy.
Exactly.
All right, give me 4 more reasons.
Well, she's nicer to me.
All right,
That's
you
a low bar.
got you got me there.
That
right,
is
so
a low bar.
Works like a cheap whore, and she's nicer to you. Give me 3 more reasons.
She has a wonderful smile.
I do. It
This
really
is-
helps on an audio
This
show.
is not a show, cocksucker. That ain't right. All right.
See,
well,
I don't call him a
I'm not
cocksucker.
going to. You
I've
don't call it.
always
Well,
kept
that falls under being nicer to.
See, I've always kept it
That's
beneath
like the
moron.
10 Commandments.
Cocksucker's a little bit too much.
That's like the 10 Commandments. You can loop them all into like one commandment, so that falls under being nicer to him. You
Yeah.
can't. The cocksucker.
The one
thing,
famous commandment: don't fuck around.
cocksucker thing can't be factored in. All right. Well, now we're down to 2 more reasons why you picked her over me.
Number 2 is she's never come on a show uninvited, which is what has happened right now.
Well, 2 of the last 3 podcasts I did were uninvited. That was Jerry.
Notorious for it.
Lawler
now.
claims I wasn't invited. I was told I was. Brian Last recently claims he uninvited us, even though he fired us 42 minutes after we quit. That was a record. All right. So she's never stormed your show before. She just is an invited guest, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and
And now the last reason that you chose her over me to introduce you on your show.
she's more talented.
Oh my God. I'm getting stabbed tonight. I can't believe he said that. Please record this. Please. I'm going to need this record. If they call you tomorrow morning for evidence, you showed up.
I have never been so hurt. I am going to take off my Beats by Bolin Monster Intune headphones, and I'm not going to do your show.
Kenny, I
that's-
did say good day.
Show. That's now Jimmy Cornette's show. I'm not going to do. I'm not going to do my own bowling alley. I'm considering not doing dinner with Bolin now. The dinner with the Bolins. I'm considering not even doing it.
Come on, Kenny.
But they're paying me $1,000 a show, so I guess I'll continue to do it.
Which,
And-
by the way, was my idea 4 years ago.
Whose fucking idea? Now you're going to take credit for that.
It's because you're not
Something
talented.
that I happen to remember that you said 4 years ago, and now you want to take credit for it. You know what?
You know how much more money you would have today if you listened to me 4 years ago.
Well, maybe enough that I could buy you a webcam.
Get the hell out of here.
Wow.
I'm out of here. I know when I'm not wanted.
Damn, I didn't think you could get
I'll
any
leave.
more
I'll
petty.
leave. I'll leave. I really will.
You're kidding me. Come on.
Get out of my way, two
It's
cow.
going to take about 30
You
minutes for him to
big
get up.
Fucking black lab.
And he is now up. 1 foot's on the ground. Did you get that in? He just screamed, bite me.
Yeah, we picked that up.
That was awesome.
He just took over. I know this is an audio podcast, but Two Cow just jumped in Kenny's seat and took the mic.
He's not coming. He's too petty to come. Did you, as soon as you stepped down, he sat down and he even bumped your microphone. He took over.
Save the show.
Oh, now that he knows that it sucks.
You just bumped the microphone. That'll be anything better than old Brazilian mouth over here.
Slammed the door right in Choco's face.
Another member of Kenny's family that has come up on the show is his brother. As far as siblings go, I'm sure Kenny feels like he's hit the jackpot.
I have got 4,000 pieces of mismatched Tupperware in my kitchen, If you find a lid that matches a goddamn Tupperware bowl, you jump up and down like you won the fucking lottery around here. Hey, it fit. Goddamn. I can put something in it now.
Everything's coming up, Kenny.
Yeah, you find 3 in a row, and it's like you won the little spinner thing at the where you shit your pants at. Down there at the shittery. Jason, did you hear that story? You had to.
I haven't heard that yet.
The gambling shitter.
This was a story that Maya loved so much she refused to confirm it in case it wasn't real.
I come home about 2-3 days ago.
No, I wish you were gone for 2 or 3 days.
Kenny looks at me and he says, "You know what I just saw on the news?" And he tells me the story. I laughed my fucking ass off. I went on Snapchat. I recorded me telling the story in 3 different languages and sent it to people all over the world just because this has to be shared.
And I'm just telling her this story from memory. Maya, Google it to verify me on this. She won't do it. She's contacted people on 9 fucking continents, and we only have 7. And she's telling them about this fucking casino guy who was evicted for a reason. So I'll let Maya pick up on the story.
So what happened was that a few days ago, a man, I suppose in Indiana, I guess, southern Indiana, was evicted from a casino after it being reported that he was repeatedly shitting himself every time he would go to the casino.
Yeah, not just on one visit. This was countless visits, countless crapping himself. And Maya said, well, how did they know? I said, well, they got numerous complaints from those that were standing next to him.
Is it because
he was swearing? Well, we don't know. They didn't really dig into it. The man shits himself, and I'm saying dig into it. No, we don't know the details on the amount of money the man may have won. I was wondering if it was Timmy John, because I could see Timmy John sitting there thinking the wheel's hot or the little flipper's hot, because you don't want to leave a hot machine. Well, this goddamn thing's ready to pay off, man. I'll just shit my pants.
But this was the best part.
Because if I give it up, man, then I'm going to shit my pants if I don't win.
I was telling my friend Harry over in Great Britain, and he was having a bad day. So I was telling him the story. And I said,
former host of the Bolin Alley.
Harry
for
Barnett.
5 years.
Yes. I was telling him, Harry, you're having a bad day, but I want you to remember, next time you feel down, I want you to remember this man. So he goes to the casino. He's constantly shitting himself. He gets kicked out. And instead of admitting loss and obviously being embarrassed, feeling some shame, he stands up because he's a man. He's a strong man. He's a big man. And he was not going to take that loss. So
no.
He fought it. He went to the doctor and he got a
doctor's note.
A doctor's note.
That said,
he got medical proof
he did.
that he was not shitting himself.
Little Johnny is not shitting himself. Got a doctor's note.
The only way you could prove that you were not shitting yourself in the past is by proving that you do not shit, period. And I doubt he was doing that. And if he was, did the casino buy it? That's the question. We don't know if the casino let him back in.
Well, we took it a step further. We figured that being as this was a Southern Indiana casino, that's one that my brother used to frequent quite often. And I think he was kicked out of there, but I never did hear the reason why. So what I'm figuring is that it was Timmy John that was kicked out of the casino, old Biscuits and Gravy. Y'all have heard me talk about him before. And then we figured, what more white trash thing that can you do than to get yourself booked on the Maury Povich show, have a DNA test run to prove that you were not the one shitting your pants. So there's maybe Timmy John and 2 other people, and that have swore Timmy John shits his pants. And they just know it for a fact, and they want to be there to gloat in his face when Maury comes back with the DNA evidence. And then finally the evidence comes back.
Maury goes, the DNA results are in. Timmy John, you are not the shitter.
And then Timmy John gets all excited, jumps up there dancing around, and oh man, I just shit myself. He's so happy he go back to the casino, he shit his pants. And it's counteractive. It's counterproductive. And he went there to prove himself. And then I'll be goddamn if he don't shit himself on the Maury Povich show. So if he'll shit himself on the Maury Povich show, goddamn well he'll shit himself at a casino not to give up a Hot Wheel.
or handle or whatever they fucking call
How
it.
much of a gambling problem must one have in order to prove that they were not shitting themselves to go back to
and the
casino?
only one I know that has a gambling problem that bad is Biscuits and Gravy Razor. He has to be the shitter. He's got to be the one. So Maya's trying to make defenses for the shitter. Oh, well, I bet he's real old. No, I saw him on TV. Motherfucker's about 45 or 50. And she said, well, that's how old. I said, well, it ain't old enough to be going out in public and shitting your pants. I'm 57. I'll be 60. I'll be 60 in a couple of years, and I can count on one hand how many times I've shit my pants in public because I saved the other hand to wipe with. Oh, boy. Now you know why we don't call this the Jason Marshall Show. You don't want his fucking name on it. You don't call it the bowling alley or the crap house or whatever y'all want to call this goddamn show. I don't want nothing to do with it.
Well, I'm glad you brought him up because the last time
are you Googling him? Are you? No, I can't swear it was Southern Indiana, but that's where my brother got kicked out of. So we just assumed it was him.
Oh, I just looked this up. We were wrong.
Oh, what?
This happened in Ohio. Jason, anything you want to tell us?
Anything you care to admit, Mr. Jason?
We're at
Mr.
Ohio.
Guy who didn't want
There's
to...
a picture of the guy.
Let me see the guy. Let me see if I...
Hang on, we'll bring it up right now.
Oh, he's shitting himself. I know he is. He's wearing white pants. You can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, if you shit yourself several times, oh my God. The guy's on Skype with him. He's probably 29.
Now Tim goes to casinos in Ohio. He goes to Ohio, Indiana, and he goes to 3 different ones in Indiana.
This is a nice one, too, they're showing.
What city?
I'm not sure because I'm not listening to it. I'll have to look
break
it up
it down?
just a second.
Probably up near
Cincinnati.
I bet it's near Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincinnati.
Yep, there we go. Yeah, Timmy John.
I can only repeat. Do you want to come
remember Timmy John met me and Rob Dickin. Come out of the outhouse. Yeah, Timmy John met me and Rob Dickin up there once. The only time that I've been to a casino in the last 20 years, I guess, other than to see Casey and the Sunshine Band. And I won $500 that night. Guy gave me some $50 worth of tokens. I spent $3 and won $500.
It says here, a Kentucky man visiting Ohio.
Kentucky man. Yep, that's Timmy John.
The casino asked him to leave.
That's Timmy John.
For something he said he didn't do while he was there.
Mm-hmm.
Timothy interviewed.
Oh, no.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no. Are you shitting me? Well, no, shit me. Are you shitting his name really? Timothy? Oh, my God.
They asked him not to share his last name.
I'm telling you, it's all adding up. He plays in Ohio. His name is Timothy.
He said the Jack Casino security asked him to leave because of the stain he had on his pants.
I'd like to have him on the show. We need to talk about this.
Oh, God. Well, you got to get him to admit it first. If he admits he's a shitter, they're not going to let him back in, and he's got a gambling problem.
You know how he's going to respond. He's not going to admit to it. He has the saying when he's lying about something.
You don't want to know.
Oh, man. You don't want to
know. That's when you know Timmy John's lying for sure. No, the other way you know Timmy John's lying is if his lips are moving.
Kenny loves his brother so much, he's almost sick of talking about him.
Oh, God. I really got to tell the goddamn Colonel Sanders story again. Do you know it, Maya? Do you know the Colonel Sanders story by heart?
Which one? Timmy John's?
The one about the missing cane. Well, I guess more or less how Timmy John come to live with Colonel Sanders, the guy that shits his pants at casinos. So let's get that out there as verified and factual right now.
Oh, man. You don't want to know.
You don't want to know, man. You don't want to know.
All right, this was a great show. Have a good night, Jason.
Yeah. Good night, everybody, because you don't want to know. We've been here way too long. Racist white people.
Speaking of racist white people, Colonel Sanders.
Speaking of racist white people, let me talk about my brother, Biscuits and Gravy, who shits his pants at casinos. See, now you motivated me to talk about him. How it all started is that Timmy John was adopted by a woman named Jewel and a man named John. Raised her. They were a married couple. Mom felt she couldn't raise me and Timmy John together. She was right. Timmy John was 6'4", ate like a horse. He's born 6'4", 375 pounds. Don't know how Mom did it, but she just didn't think she could raise both of us together. She obviously chose the chosen child. That would be me.
Timmy John was adopted out. He was farmed out to the first family that would take him. That was John and Jewel Racer. So I hope he listens to this. So John and Jewel adopt him. Eventually, shit goes south, and Jewel leaves John. Jewel was working for the first version of the Kentucky Fried Chickens stores in Hardin County, I believe it was. I might be wrong on the exact city, but one of those southern Kentucky cities, I think in Corbin, Kentucky. That's where Jewel works, and she left John for various reasons. And Colonel Sanders was the manager of that store, and there weren't really any other KFCs going yet. And I don't even think it was really officially called KFC
It was not
yet.
KFC. It is Claudia Sanders.
Claudia Sanders. Him and his sister owned it.
No, it's his wife.
No, Claudia's a sister. That I do know.
You're gonna have to look this up.
Look it up. Claudia Sanders is his sister. So, and if it ain't, then it's his wife. So, but I'm pretty sure Claudia is his sister because I've eaten there in the past few years. Colonel feels bad for Jewel that she has nowhere to go, and offers for her and Timmy John to stay at his big ass place there in Corbin, Kentucky. And the food is prepared there, and they've got like servants and all kinds of shit running around that help prepare the food for the restaurants. And so Timmy John and Jewel live there now for several months. And apparently have you got some updated information?
Claudia Sanders, the widow of Harlan Sanders.
No, so I was wrong. So Timmy John told me it was his sister.
Well, he thought you didn't want to know.
Well, here's what happened, man. He introduced me to his wife and his sister. There's only one woman standing there. So I thought maybe. So, well, whatever. Sue me. So, the widow. I bet you he had a sister named Claudia, too. He probably married one in honor of his sister, Claudia.
I'm sure.
That's what happened. That's how it all went down. So Timmy John and Jewel are staying there with the Colonel, and apparently some rich-ass Saudi Arabians who were going to help apparently launch the Kentucky Fried Chicken chain, they were going to be investors with him. They gave the Colonel a heavily jewel-encrusted cane that was loaded with rubies and diamonds and emeralds and you name it, this cane had it. This motherfucking cane was worth a shitload of money. Well, the Colonel used to go out into the gardens and kind of hand inspect everything, hand check everything, make sure everybody was picking everything properly and making sure that it was at its proper ripeness and all this shit, and that no one was picking anything early or picking anything late. And he was just very hands-on and supervised everything. Well, Timmy John used to help in the gardens, and also Timmy John used to make the coleslaw. And the coleslaw was actually made in big, like 30-gallon garbage cans that they put in a big plastic, liner. And they would make the coleslaw about 20, 30 gallons at a time. And Timmy John's job was to pinch up the cabbage and the lettuce and everything that went into making the coleslaw. And it had to be made a certain size. And if it was bigger than your thumb, the Colonel made you redo it. So he was really in Timmy John's shit about making the coleslaw the right way. And that was his job. So they come back in. The Colonel's bitching him out over bad coleslaw. He ain't making it right or whatever. And then the Colonel realizes his cane is gone. Well, he thought Timmy John grabbed his cane and went playing with it or whatever. And he's really giving Tim shit over it. Tim saying, no, I didn't take your cane. Tim's only 9 or 10 years old at this time. Jewel's giving him shit because now she thinks their free ride of staying with the Colonel's over because he was very picky, very mean, very tough to get along with. And eventually, once he got restaurants, they were always inspected with a white glove. And if you didn't pass the white glove test, he'd shut you down and take your shit. He would take your fucking fryers and everything that he put in there, and he would close it down. He didn't want his name associated with it. So it gets so bad, they called the state police to come out and look, because this cane is apparently worth thousands and thousands of dollars, even in the late 1960s. The police come out there, and then Timmy John and Jewel and Claudia are out looking in the gardens and in the fields where all the food is grown. And they're going up and down the rows because somebody said, well, I saw the Colonel out here and he had his cane with him. So maybe he left it out here in the garden somewhere. No, I didn't leave it in the garden. Y'all are crazier than hell. I brought that cane back in the house with me and all this shit. So they're out there searching each row one by one, because there's corn and everything else out there, and it's difficult to see. And I'll be goddamn here. Now the police are there, and they're all searching everywhere trying to find this cane. And there was a cop fairly well near Timmy John. Well, Timmy John, after hours of searching, he finds the cane. And he picks the cane up and says, I got it, Colonel. I found your cane. So now Tim's thinking, in his mind, the heat would be off from him a little bit. Colonel will be so proud of him that he found the cane. And the Colonel had told him that there's no way it was in that garden. And Timmy John found it, and there it was. Well, wouldn't you know that the state trooper grabbed that cane away from Timmy John and held it up over his head and said, yes, Colonel, we got your cane. We've got you. He wanted to make it look like the police did their job. So they grabbed the cane away from Timmy John, hold it up over their head, and show the Colonel out in the garden that they've got it. And they walk it back in, and Claudia is standing there, and so's Jewel. And the Colonel is so grateful, and he's, oh man, I'm so sorry. I just knew it was in the house. I thought Timmy John had grabbed it, and I guess I left it in the garden. I'm so sorry. I apologize to everybody, and officer, I owe y'all a tremendous reward. I owe you a big reward for finding. No, Colonel, you don't owe us anything. And Claudia says, you damn right you don't owe him anything. He says he's not the one that found it, Colonel, or because I think even she called him Colonel. He was not be called anything else. You weren't going to call him Harlan. And she said, Timmy John found your cane. Said he was out there, and he's the one that found it, and that officer took it from him. So if you owe anybody anything, you owe Timmy John. And Timmy John's big smile on his face, thinks he's going to get $5 or $10 or whatever. 1968, $10 was a lot of money. Tim had never seen a $10 bill in his life. Well, the Colonel didn't give him $10. He reached in his pocket and he handed Timmy John a $100 bill. And Timmy John is, I'd say it, shitting his pants. even at 8 or 9 years old, Timmy John is shitting his pants right there in the Colonel's garden, and that's good fertilizer, and that makes good tomatoes. So Tim now thinks he's got $100. Well, Jewel is very thankful to the Colonel that they've got a free place to stay, and they got food and earning her keep there and everything, and she keeps her job at the restaurant. So she's thinking, you don't owe us shit. So she looked down, Tim, now, you know that money, that's not yours. You don't need that. The Colonel gives us a free place to stay. He gives your mother a job. You give the Colonel that $100 back. And Tim looks at her, you lost your goddamn mind. Tim, give the Colonel his money back. So he reaches up, hands the Colonel his money, and he just said, I just know the Colonel ain't going to take that $100 back. He said, that son of a bitch reached down, snapped that $100 out of his hand, put it in his wallet, and he never saw that 100 again. He never got a dime.
Damn.
And he's hated the Colonel ever since. So that's the story of Colonel Sanders and how Timmy John grew to hate him.
I didn't even know that story.
You really? How have you never heard of it?
You've never told it before. Till this show.
Well, that would be one
How
way.
many times have I seen Aaron?
Aaron the Idol Stevens, every time he's in a car with a WWE star, will call me from wherever they are on the road. King, hey, King, tell them the Colonel Sanders story. And that's why I'm so sick of telling the Colonel Sanders story. Because the last time I told it, I had to tell it to the whole Wyatt family. And then they will call, or they'll be with somebody. Hey, King, hey, it's Ray Wyatt. Tell everybody in the car the Colonel Sanders story. So it gets passed around to everybody. There ain't nobody in the WWE that does not know the Colonel Sanders story.
That's not his only sibling that he's proudly talked about on this show. He's also mentioned his sister and her 5 sons. Here's a story of Kenny having a nice family dinner with them, along with his son Chris and former pro wrestler Damian Sandow, who was known at the time as Idol Stevens. Yeah, you had Damian Sandow over once he went to meet your nephews. And you had a pretty funny story about that. You want to talk about that one, or?
I think we told that on the DVD, didn't we?
To be honest, I'm not sure.
We did. You have the DVD.
Once.
You have the fucking DVD. You ain't watched it?
No.
You that busy?
Yeah, unfortunately. I wish I wasn't.
You haven't had 2 hours in the last year. Well, we didn't do the DVD a year ago. A few weeks ago, I think it came out.
Yeah.
All right, I'll cut you a little slack. But yeah, I have a sister who has some questionable children. She had 5 kids. So still to this day, I couldn't name you all 5 of them if my life depended on it. I did not go to her house often, and there was a reason for that. Her children we named, because I never could think of their names. I could get maybe 2 of the 5, 3 of the 5 on a good day. And this is my sister's children. So I named them the 5 heathens of the apocalypse.
Nice.
And, cause these were mean fucking kids, man. They were just, nobody would want to be around 2 of them, more or less 5. And Aaron would hear these stories about, because he knew June, my sister June. And, well, she's a nice enough person. I can't believe her kids would be that bad. And Mal Bolin has lived there, and she's got to deal with those kids. Kenny, they can't be as bad as you're saying. I said, well, I tell you what, asshole, here's what we'll do. I said, you pick the night, and me, you, and the prince will go over to June's house, and I'm going to introduce you. I said, we'll go over there for dinner. I said, I'll have Mom make up dinner, and you know it's going to be hamburger helper of some type. Because when you're feeding 5 kids and all the adults, you cut corners where you can. So we know we're having some type of a hamburger helper. We just don't know what. So we go over there for dinner and knock on the door and come in. Of course, all 5 kids are just raving lunatics, even at the door. And he's realizing that I just might have been right as we walk in the door. And he's looking, hey, King, here's all the kids. I said, yeah, there they are. There they are, Dame, or Idol, as I called him. And so we go sit down at the dinner table. And before we can even pick up a fork and get the first bite of food in our mouth, here's what all's happened to Damon. Well, one of them grabs him, is just pulling at him, trying to get him to wrestle with him. Well, that's harmless enough. You know, kids do that. And then one of them wants to shake his hand. So he reaches out to shake the kid's hand, and he's got one of those electric shock buzzers on him. And he's got a serious one. He's got one that'll fucking do some damage to you.
It's hooked to a car battery, huh?
Oh, I think. So he reaches out and shakes hand, and he just fries the shit out of Idol right there, Damien Sandow, for those of y'all that knew him from the WWE. And so now he's got one kid tugging the shit out of him, and now he's been shocked with a handshake, and he's got another one that throws food at him, wants to start a food fight. So he throws beef stroganoff hamburger helper at him.
That's
and then that's my favorite too. Mom knew that. And then all of a sudden, here comes some mashed potatoes and some peas. So and only at him. There's about 7, 8 people at the table, well, I got that wrong. There's 5 kids and probably 5 or 6 adults. There's probably about 11 people at the dinner table. So now he's been shocked. There's food coming at him. One of the kids asked him, he says, so you're a wrestler, right? He says, yeah. He says, that's gay. And he looks at him. He says, well, why is that gay? To get in a ring and wrestle around all sweaty with other men, that's gay. So I said, now I got kids gay bashing Idol. And so he's been shocked with the thing. And do you remember what else happened to him there? Because I've told the story a couple times.
I was thinking there was firecrackers or something involved, but I might be getting confused
that was Bobby Eaton's kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bobby Eaton's kids were tied to the firecrackers. But the electric shock, he's been gay. They're throwing food at him. Oh, one of them crawled under the table and tried to light his shoes on fire.
That's right.
Yeah. He had the lighter down there, and he's trying to light Idol. And he looks down, and there's actually a flame coming from his goddamn shoelaces. And he stopped. King, little son of a bitch trying to set me on fire. He's trying to set me on fire, King. I said, well, you've been here for 20 minutes. You didn't think you'd get set on fire? I said, these are lovely kids. And now we've been there about 20 some odd minutes. He's been set on fire. He's been shot with a battery. He's been called gay. He's had food thrown at him. And it seems like there was one other thing. And one of the kids is actually sweet. I think little Jackie was actually a sweet little kid. One of the kids I can actually come up with a name with. He's now got the shakes. He's wanting out of there. And we haven't finished our meal. The kids are just driving him fucking nuts. He's scared to death. He doesn't know what's going to happen next. Some of these kids have sharp knives with them at the table, and that's got him fucking nervous.
Yeah.
And he's leaning over to me. He said, King, don't we have somewhere else to go? We got to get out of here, don't we? I said, no, hell, I'm good. I said, no, this is lovely. I said, hell, we'll hang out here a couple more hours. And he's madder than a fucking hornet. He wants out of there so goddamn bad he can't see straight. I said, oh, you wanted to come here, motherfucker. You thought I was exaggerating this story. No, you're going to get the full fucking dose. So they keep fucking with him, and it's just various one thing after another. But those were some of the extremes that he went through. And I made him sit there about another 30 minutes. So we've been there just under an hour. And he's literally fucking shaking. He is fucking shaking. And tapping his fucking feet and looking at me with them big bug eyes of his. He's wanting out of this goddamn bad. Christopher is fucking dying. He knows now that we are never going to get him back in that house again.
Yeah, I bet.
And he gives me that look like, please, King, please get me out of here, King, please. So I said, well, Mom, I guess we got to go. I said, we got some other things we got to get ready for. We got a show tomorrow. Me and Idol got to go over some shit. I said, so we got to get out of here. I said, thank you for having us over for dinner. Kids, everybody go give Idol a hug. So I got damn, now they're all bum rushing him and they're hugging him and they're getting shit all over him and they got food on their hands and everything. And it's just the final straw of everything that he's been put through since he's been there. And we're walking out the door. Of course, the kids are all waving at him and he's waving back, trying to be nice. We get in the car and he almost just breaks down. Oh my goddamn, King. Okay, fuck, man, fuck. I cannot believe, Jesus fucking Christ. 5 heathens of the apocalypse. You're being nice to them goddamn kids. That's the meanest, sickest bunch of fucking kids I've ever seen in my goddamn. Oh, King, please tell me we never got to go back here again. Please. No, just take me home. And he's shaking. I mean, he's got the fucking shakes. And me and Chris are laughing our fucking, because we've been exposed to this shit all our life. And we can handle it in small doses, maybe twice a year. Christmas and Thanksgiving if we have to. And there's been many a years I've just passed because I just didn't think I could deal with it.
Before I wrap this up, I always put a short clip after the outro music to every show. Here's a montage of all of them from Kenny's episodes.
Guess what, sucker?
If I Google his name, it says who.
God, I would have loved to have been in that room with the three of you guys.
If you got listeners that don't know who I am, fuck you.
Well, we ain't gonna get to your risers today.
Well, fuck you. If they're not inviting the grope, then there's no groping. I want to make that very clear right now.
Well, that's just fantastic. What the fuck can I do for you?
I'm trying to trailer park this place out as much as I can.
We said good day. And bowl glow. I'll be 60 in a couple of years, and I can count on one hand how many times I've shit my pants in public. Because I saved the other hand to wipe with.
Touche.
I hope you liked the show. If you did, please subscribe to the show if you haven't already. It's available on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, SiriusXM Spoke app, Spotify, and literally everywhere podcasts are available. You can even listen on YouTube or Roku. If you've already subscribed, thank you very much. That really does mean a lot to me. That's it for this episode. I'll be back on Thursday for part 2 of the Best of Kenny Bolin.
I did say good day.
Thanks for listening. Tell your friends about all the fun we had and leave a review. See you next time. It's good.
I would
Now
thank
try
you
to
for
say
coming.
Tadios with me.
Tadios. Tadios, amigos. See, I can do it. I can do your language or mine. Tadios, amigos.
I would thank you for coming on the show, but I don't really know how this works since I didn't really invite you.
we did everything but come on your show. Be glad you came. I was getting pretty excited over here. Just found out you were whiter than me. That kind of shit. Fantasy's over, buddy. The fantasy's over. He's still recording. Thank you for coming on the show. You might have. I didn't.
This is the lights out portion of We Don't Have Cookies.
The lights out. The lights out segment. You can stay or leave.
I don't think you've done that since the Who's Slamming Who days, have you?
I don't think I have. We did some lights out segments, but no, I haven't done them since then, have I?
No.
We're going to bring that back to the bowling alley. The new and improved and better and badder and better microphones, better mixers.
Mm-hmm.
But compared to the old way, do these really sound, to me, they sound dramatically better when I've gone back and listened to some old shows at the old home. These really sound a lot better to me.
Yeah, I like it. And I can tell you're a pretty good distance away from your mic, too, and it's picking you up just fine.
Right here is about maybe a foot away, give or take. Maya's about a foot away right there. So give him one last test.
That's not a foot. That's not a full thing. As somebody who has a foot around her mouth all the time.
Yeah, trust me.
This is not a full
that's as close to a foot as you're ever going to get.
It's about 7.2 inches.
So good. lied too severely. That's about 14 and a half inches right there if I ever saw
God damn, I've been a lucky woman then.
it. You lucky
No,
bitch.
no clue.
Good thing you're taking in that big mouth of yours. Otherwise, you might be walking crooked. You're walking crooked. So, are you recording the lights out segment?
Yeah, I never hit stop yet.
I can add this to the lights out segment.
What the
I
hell?
guess. Do I get paid more money for barging in on your sleep?
I'm gonna add an extra 0 to what I'm sending to you.
Yeah, you already got a great picture of two guy because he's trying to get one last more mugshot in here. It looks like. Well, let's put it this way: this was any other show, I'd probably get about a $750 check. But if you can't buy a goddamn $29 webcam, I guess I'm fucked.
I told you I'm going to add an extra 0 to your check. It's just going to be to the right of
There'll
the
be another
decimal.
0. There'll be 3 zeros instead of 2. Maybe 4. You might do 4 zeros. That would look good. 0, 0, 0, 0. That'd look good.
Mm-hmm.
It's two
More than you'll ever get out of me.
It's two. I don't want to get anything out of you. I already got your hair out of my tub. But he's drooling.
Oh, God damn it, too.
Yeah, you turned him on.
I'm not that hot.
Yes, I've been telling him that for 2 years now. So sexually abused.
He's my little baby.
He's your.
That's okay. That's why I took your
He's your
balls.
boyfriend. All right. Well, tell the wife I'm sorry.
No problem. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
You're so welcome.
Thanks for barging in. 2 hours of sleep I'm going to get tonight. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you very much.
Tell
Same
your
to you.
daughter. All right.
right.
Well, we keep threatening to leave and we ain't doing it. So
Yeah, his wife's packing her bag, so we better go.
yeah. Well, I might be doing him a favor. I ain't seen her either.
You don't want to.
Oh, yeah. She might not want to hear this show either.
We'll put it this way.
Somebody be packed. So we'll be coming up there, and you might not be nowhere to be found. She'll be grilling them hot dogs and hamburgers. All righty, we're gonna do you some mercy, and I'm gonna end this thing myself. On the count of 3. 1, 2.